Hello, dear friends. Something big is about to happen. I expect big things this month, but you never know for sure. Although I don't know what tomorrow will bring, I'm going to keep my head up, think positive, and hope for the best. The news is flowing again, after a cool down last weekend. And you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. The truth sets you free, and the lie binds you. If you have no religion, I recommend only one. Truth with capital letters. Opinion piece. Truth sets you free. The earth is regaining her power. Being awake is your divine right given to you. UFO disclosure raises awareness. There has never been more UFO activity than now. Regressives are Anunnaki, Draco, and Greys. The benevolent are Syrians, Pleiadians, Andromedans, Arthurians, and Lyrians. Mexico will replace 60 million tons of transgenic corn with native corn. Survival kits are on the rise in the face of a possible power outage. Let's start. Negatively minded beings have no compassion or love. These beings have no respect for planet Earth, let alone the beings that inhabit it. They are evil species, including among others the Anunnaki, the Draco, and the Greys, who have been oppressing our planet for 500,000 years. That is why the benevolent beings who are flying through our sky in large numbers have recently intervened, according to Peter B. Mayer. It is important to provide a version of the truth that reflects the new reality and is plausible to the logical and emotional mind. The current version of truth has become very distorted, but withholding crucial knowledge. This creates only a limited reality with little depth. Benevolent beings from other worlds exist just as we do in our world on Earth. But there are many more of them, and they are more advanced than we are. There is no need to be afraid of them. They have never harmed anyone. No matter what story the mainstream media and governments try to teach us, extraterrestrials exist, and they are peaceful beings. Their civilization is based on love, compassion, empathy, integrity, wisdom, and spirituality. They never oppress, attack, or threaten any country or race. However, there are outside species that are not benevolent or neutral. These have been active on our planet for hundreds of thousands of years. They have taken possession of our planet to mine gold and have enslaved the human species to do the mining and work for them. They are negative beings devoid of compassion and emotion. These beings have no respect for our planet, let alone life. They are evil species that oppress and frighten human beings. That is why well-meaning beings have come to our aid, flying in great numbers through our sky. They have been here, though there, for many years, and their numbers are growing day by day. They are here to develop human consciousness, to guide and awaken humankind. They can make their spaceships visible or invisible as they wish. Humankind on Earth is going through an unprecedented shift in frequency and resonance. The outer ones are here to assist us worldwide with the transition to a higher ascension. It is a spiritual evolution leading to the liberation of humankind. This is a process like no other event in history that has taken place in the universe so far. It's necessary to know that the visitors from outside this world are our brothers and sisters from the stars, our family of light. Family always shows up when you need them most. It cannot be stressed enough that these are very loving and peaceful beings, very spiritual, from very advanced nations. They are groups of different star bodies working together to help Earth humankind. The Galactic Federation is the group of advanced spiritual beings that watches over the evolution of consciousness and sentient life for the ascension of Gaia, which is the central mother of all life. Although there are numerous different space species, 5 main groups of higher beings are now present on our planet to assist humankind. They come from different galaxies and are human races with different characteristics. The Federation consists mainly of the following 5 star nations: Pleiadians, Andromedans, Syrians, Arthurians, and Lyrians. They are all highly developed spiritual beings from different worlds who work together as a family of light. All these groups have strong connections to planet Earth and have therefore heard our call for liberation and have decided to intervene to watch over the evolution of planet Earth and its peoples. Paradigm shift. You didn't think the world would go on as usual, did you? A new 5D Earth is coming. Welcome to the Age of Light. The click seems powerful when it can envelop us in darkness. For the true revelation of the external origin of life would have inevitably led to the revelation of the true origin of the human species. If you intend to control someone, keep them stupid and let them fear. Humankind has never been so abused as it is now. It is necessary to understand who these beings are. For a long time, we have lived with supreme arrogance, thinking that we are the only living beings in the universe, just because those who rule the planet decided that they should be more powerful than us. The media was instructed to create more and more fear-based story, and distort the truth to use this issue to their advantage. UFOs has always existed, but there has never been more activity than right now. These UFO revelations have yet to reach the mainstream media, and many wonder in what direction it will develop. What other stories could be made up, just to keep government leaders and the mainstream in the saddle. Wake up, people! The power of the click is broken. We are awakened once. We have more powerful and better intentions for humankind and planet Earth than the negative beings who have abused us like slaves for 500,000 years. That is over from now on. The awakened ones rise up and unite now to enter and build the new world together, with great gratitude and affection for our outer sisters and brothers. The light has one where everyone creates their own reality. The destiny of humankind is now decided. Only positive-minded beings will pass into the 5-dimensional new Earth. All is expected to be completed, cleared and settled between 2025 and 2030, although I talked about 2038 as the end of this cycle. No outside interference can affect the progress. Clearly, the most decisive moment for humankind has now arrived. The light has won. That is what is going to happen in the coming days. UFO disclosure is coming to the forefront of human consciousness. Taking back our power. Message from Mira of the Pleiadian High Council through Valerie Dorner. At this time, humankind is doing whatever it takes to complete this final phase of the shift. Humankind has to take back its power and overthrow the forces of evil. There is simply no place for that kind of energy on Earth anymore. Yes, it will take some time to clean up and overhaul the old systems. Basically, the groundwork has already been laid for the new. In extreme desperation, the dark ones are spewing fear and weakness. Trust in the light and know that they will not prevail, whatever their intentions. We are with you and are overseeing this project to its grand end, or grand finale. Grand final. Please rise above the threats and follies being made by the minions. There are some countries where they have progressed in their totalitarian ways. However, take heart, this is not for long. It is intended to show the world what happened in the past. The intention is not to allow this to happen again in the future. The wicked are stretched to the limit. They underestimated the power of light, and special beings of light such as yourselves, who are here on Earth right now. They are being destroyed in the more appropriate consequences for their behaviors. Some of these beings will be uncreated and may never be allowed to incarnate again. As this great awakening continues, most of humankind will discover the truth. They will be shocked and devastated to learn of the evil they have been living with on Earth. Organizations and companies will disappear if they have been part of the evil. There is no place for them. Earth is taking her power back. She too is tired of the way she has been treated, as are you. She is going to show their true power. She thanks you for your patience and agrees that she has had enough. Where the earth needs to be unforgiving, she will be unforgiving. Where the earth needs to be gentle, she will be gentle. She loves her children. Until now, she has been scorned and the respected mother with too many spoiled children. She has given everything for life on the planet, even the paper on which money is printed. Awakening process. Being awake is your God-given right. By Jesus through John. Being awake is your God-given right, but instead you choose to forget that and enter a dream state that more severely limits your knowledge of who you really are, and the drama of that state, your selfishness and narcissistic self-centeredness became an addictive distraction that you have clung for a long time. Your journey by the Creator. It's time to settle in and get comfortable, dear one. The cascade of information you are receiving now will bring many life-altering changes, including how you view your world and what you will create. You have a choice in how you react to this expansion, and it depends on your ability to accept and assimilate new information. Easy or challenging, it is your journey. Honor it. Steve Biko. Strategic deception. Even camouflage and hiding in the woods is deception. Nothing could be more basic and advantageous in a conflict as we are now than the element of surprise. I think we'll see more as these things progress through the endgame of responsibility, and I don't want us to feel discouraged. It's all on the line for the players. It's not at stake for us because we know the divine plan, and it doesn't include the victory of darkness. So perhaps you can respectfully invite us to stay away from disappointment with the coalition's future efforts to rally the dark side players. Some of their moves will be a deception. That is part of a successful plan. It doesn't indicate failure. It's no reason to be discouraged. Crossroads. Right now, we are at the crossroads for the financial reset according to David Harkness. The Federal Reserve just had its meeting on Monday, November 9th at 4:15 p.m. The meeting at the United Nations will be held on November 11, 2021. Any current changes made will go into effect on November 15th, 2021. Fed officials focus on rate debate, eye on jobs inflation. Federal Reserve officials on Monday turned their attention to a debate over monetary policy that will intensify in coming months as the Fed slows the pace of its asset purchases, clearing the decks for interest rate hikes next year. Gold hits 2-month high. Gold prices held near a 2-month high on Monday as investors maintained the view that central banks would keep interest rates low for the time being, focusing on key inflation data due later in the week. Spot gold was flat as $1,817 an ounce. Ron Giles criticizes Zimbabwe bonds. In quotes, 11 million per 100 billion Zimbabwe bonds will solve what needs to be done, he asks. That's manipulation directly against humanitarians. If you can't see this first, but watch it until you see it. These are our enemies at work. Cryptocurrencies. Russia wants to tax crypto miners. Russian economy ministry officials believe that mining fits well with the definition of business activity, and recognizing it would allow authorities to collect taxes. Bitcoin starts the week near record highs, but its dominance is in jeopardy. The world's largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization, Bitcoin, rose above $66,000 per coin overnight, after hovering comfortably above 60,000 for the past 2 weeks. Overall, Bitcoin has gained 8% in 24 hours. Bitcoin inflows hit record high in 2021. Inflows into Bitcoin products and funds have hit a record $6.4 billion so far this year, as investors bought the cryptocurrency thanks to more widespread government acceptance and positive momentum. Zimbabwe considers legalizing Bitcoin as legal tender. The government is weighing the options of adopting the cryptocurrency as a legal payment service and is consulting various stakeholders on the pros and cons of the virtual currency. All major banks will think about cryptocurrency trading. All major financial institutions will think about buying and selling cryptocurrencies in the next few years, according to former Citigroup CEO Vikram Pandit. Supply crisis. Global food production teeters on the brink of fertilizers shortages. Corporations around the world have stopped producing fertilizers, which are of course needed to grow food. Record fertilizer prices due to fire-driven inflation, combined with dwindling supplies of existing fertilizer, have created a desperate situation. Food crops are already performing poorly due to extreme weather conditions, including droughts and cold spells. Considering that recent crop seasons were also poor due to weather problems, a perfect storm appears to be brewing for a global food supply collapse. Debt collapse in China. What happens in China does not necessarily stay in China, like in Las Vegas. It can very easily spread to our economy, destroying our savings, pensions, stocks, and even bringing down our real estate market. The effects are complex and far-reaching and certainly not contained as many experts claim. The housing market accounts for 62% on household net worth in China, and with the crisis about to crash housing values, the average Chinese citizen is about to have much less net worth and therefore less disposable income to spend on imports. China's economy is now more integrated into the world economy than ever before, which is good for China but not so good for us when the situations like this arise. China's total debt now stands at over 270% of its GDP, What makes this situation worse is the debt we don't know about. Americas. Mexico to replace 60 million tons of GM corn with native corn. In addition to banning Monsanto Bayer's Roundup herbicide by 2024, Mexico is now committed to ridding the country of GM corn by the same date. To do so, it plans to gradually replace 60 million tons in annual imports of GM corn with ancient and indigenous varieties. President AMLO, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, first issued the decree on January 2nd, nothing that biosafety authorities would revoke and refrain from granting permits for the release of genetically modified corn seeds into the environment. French company to invest $400 million to produce lithium in Argentina. French mining group Eramet announced to Argentine President Alberto Fernández that it will resume construction of a lithium plant in the province of Salta in the north for $400 million. Canada's indigenous nations ordered the arrest of Pope Francis. The coalition of traditional elders issues an order prohibiting the Pope from entering their territories. Elders from 10 indigenous nations have endorsed an international court's arrest warrant against Pope Francis and issued their own order banning him from entering their territories, which span Canada. In quotes, if Jorge Bergoglio trespasses on our territories, he will be arrested by the peacekeepers of our warring societies and will be handed over to the International Court of Justice in The Hague, in accordance with his arrest warrant on November 1st. Their order read: Europe. The French Catholic Church will compensate victims of abuse. The French Episcopal Conference, meeting in a plenary assembly in Lourdes, concluded this November 8th with the announcement that the Church will compensate victims of abuse by the clergy through the sale of properties or possible loans. Gazprom starts storing gas in Europe as prices continues to rise. Russian gas giant Gazprom is finishing pumping gas into Russia's subway storage facilities and starting supplies to European storage facilities. The announcement of the move in late October lowered prices on markets that have so far remained below $1,000 per 1,000 cubic meters. Spain. The sale of survival kits is on the rise in Spain in the face of the possibility of an electrical blackout in Europe, although experts insist that it is very unlikely to happen in Spain. Farmers and ranchers cannot afford it. Spanish farmers and ranchers are very worried because they pay 75% more for electricity than last year, and also because they pay twice as much for diesel, fertilizers, and plastics. They say that this situation is unsustainable and that if it drags on, they do not know if they will be able to cope with it for a long time. Spain will spend almost 4 million euros on the purchase of 50 F-35 fighter planes. The Spanish government is in talks with the US for the acquisition of 50 units of this model, worth almost 4 billion euros. They would renew the fleets of the Spanish Air Force and the Spanish Navy. La Palma is calming down. It is interesting to note in this context that La Palma volcano is calming down, as are the problems with the Three Gorges Dam, probably just a coincidence. Signs of depletion of magma inputs at greater depths. Scientists closely following the evolution of the volcanic eruption on La Palma see signs of depletion of magma inputs at greater depths and that the lava now coming out of shallower origin. Spain's forecast for 2022. Spain will be the economy with the highest gross domestic product growth over the next few years, according to a new forecast from Goldman Sachs, which anticipate an acceleration of the euro's fourth largest economy in 2022, when it will grow by 6.5% compared to the 4.5% estimated for this year, far outstripping the rest of the major advanced economies. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.